What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are going to be grading every single fighter's performance from UFC 307 Pereira versus Rountree Jr. Fight took place a couple days ago now, or about 36 hours ago at the time of recording this, and it was a pretty solid card. It was a fun card, it was enjoyable, and I enjoyed the card. As I said, it was good. Fighters had good performances. Some fighters had terrible performances, like Batista. Some fighters were disgraceful. Some fighters, went out on their shield and fought like actual warriors and not held onto the legs for dear life. But I'm going to be grading all of them based off this system here. I kind of change it up a little bit based off in comparison. If there's a bunch of really good performances on the card, then I'll probably have an A+ and then an A tier. But for this one, I'm only going to have A+ and A in the same tier just because there weren't that many crazy good performances on the card. But yeah, I'm going to quit yapping. We're going to start off with the winner of the main event. Look, I might change this later on. Pereira, I'm going to put him in the B tier for now in terms of the performance. Look, it was a great performance and it was a defense of his title. So I'm trying to think now in comparison, I might just move him later on. But Pereira, for now, I'll chuck him in the B tier. It was a very solid performance. He did overcome some adversity. He did lose the first 2 rounds on the scorecards, but it never really felt like he was getting dominated or really in danger of losing. I didn't go into the 3rd round being like, damn, Pereira needs to win these next 3, otherwise he's going to lose. It always kind of felt like he was going to get him. It didn't, to me at least. Let me know in the comments if you agree. It always kind of felt like Pereira was going to catch him at some point, and he did. He took over the fight. If you're grading that fight from round 3 onwards, or just round 4 on its own, round 4 is like a fucking Hall of Fame tier performance in terms of one of the best rounds delivered by a fighter in terms of the pure skill that they displayed in one round. Probably one of the best rounds I've ever seen from a fighter individually, on par with Holloway, Cater rounds, and even the round 5 of Holloway Gaethje, I guess. But yeah, this was an incredible performance from both guys, to be honest. That's why I'm going to give Rountree his credit as well. But Pereira, for now, I'll put him in the B tier. I might move him up later on in comparison, because that's usually what I end up doing. But yeah, I'm going to move on though to Khalil Rountree Jr. Next up, Khalil Rountree. I'm actually going to put him in B tier as well. Now, I think I grade these performance rankings based off also, one, who won the fight, how impressive did they look, how dominant were they, all of that, but also the expectations coming in. And I'm probably going to do a narrative shifts video tomorrow as well. But I'm just going to say the narrative shift for Khalil Rountree is big, because he came into this fight being the people were joking that Khalil Rountree fights you on money. No one really took him seriously. But you forget, man, Khalil Rountree went to Thailand. Came back a completely different guy. But no, we were all kind of joking. No one really took him seriously going into this fight. I knew he had a chance to catch him, for sure. He's got KO power, but I just didn't think he was that good. I was it took Anthony Smith to the 3rd, but he showed up here and he showed he showed his best performance, even in a loss. This was the most impressed I've ever been with Khalil Rountree. You beat Chris Dawkins, you beat Anthony Smith. None of those are as impressive as the first 2 rounds, and then the toughness that he showed against Pereira. So I'm going to put him in the B tier. I think him and Pereira, if you even it out based off, obviously, Pereira won, but Khalil was expected to lose. So I think his performance was almost just as impressive, if not more so, than Pereira's based off, how well he did early. Anyway, let's talk about the co-main event. Next up, we got Juliana Pena. I'm going to put her in the C tier. I don't think she had the best performance. Look, she won the belt, so fair enough, but I think she looked pretty mid. To be honest, I was not that impressed with Juliana Pena. I think she looked awful the entire time. Her striking looked dog shit. She had a few good moments in the 2nd and 3rd round with the takedowns, but for the rest of that fight, she just looks like an amateur, so I refuse to give her credit. I thought she won a robbery decision. I don't think she actually won this fight. So, as such, I'm going to have Pennington above her. I'm going to put Pennington... I'll put her in the C tier too. So I'll keep Pennington same tier as Pena for now. I think she performed better. Look, her fight IQ at moments was terrible. 2nd and 3rd round was terrible, but she had an impressive 4th round, and she was kind of just piecing her up in the 5th. So I thought Pennington looked better than Pena. I thought she won the fight. I thought she had a better performance. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be judging these rankings based off. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got the coward, the rat, the weasel, the crotch sniffer, the inbred, Batista. He's not even from that region, but he's still an inbred. See, this is what I mean. I support, previously I've been on the train, or not on the train, but I've kind of criticized, MMA Guru, because as much as I agree with his hate towards Dagestanis who are just inbred and boring and shit, I also say, when the fuck is the last time you've criticized an actual American or Western fighter? And at least I'll give him credit. He criticized Batista fair and square, but like fucking rat performance from Batista. And really, a lot of people have been like, oh, when American wrestlers do this, everyone says, oh, they're just doing what they need to do to win. No. Batista got the treatment from everyone. Batista got the fucking backlash from everyone, deservedly so. This was not getting a body triangle on the ground and holding onto a body triangle. That's different. This is not ending up on top and then laying on them in guard, like Corey Sandhagen against Rob Font. This is actively, you're unable to complete a takedown. Your wrestling is not good enough. Your striking is not good enough because you're shooting for the legs for dear life. And the only advantage you have in this is just physicality up against the cage and holding him there because you're a bitch and you don't want to fight like a real man. Like, I think Martinez, I was more impressed with Martinez than I was with Batista. I'm just going to say that. I think Martinez is maybe not a better fighter, but I think he put up a better performance against Aldo. Sure, he got whooped and rocked in the third and taken down by himself, but he didn't hold on to the legs for dear life. He could have just probably shot and tried to clinch Aldo. Maybe wouldn't have done it as well as Batista. Maybe not quite as disgraceful and inbred and just ratty of a fighter. So he probably wouldn't have been able to do as well. But still, I think he showed a more impressive performance, and I respect Martinez a lot more than I respect Batista. And MMA Guru as such has now put up a bounty on Batista for someone to KO him unconscious, which I support. I'd love to do the same thing. I'm thinking, Guru said 10,000 with an extra 1,000 per follow-up shot. Best I can do is 10 with an extra $1 for each follow-up shot. That's the budget we're working with. But if anyone fighters want to hit me up, Song Yadong, if you take this man on in the cage and you knock him out, I'll give you $10 with a $1 for every follow-up shot. But anyway, that'll do it for Mario Batista. Don't got time for this inbred cunt. Anyway, let's talk about the real winner of the fight, Jose Aldo. Next up, Jose Aldo, as I said, I'm going to chuck him in the seats here now, even though I thought he won this fight pretty clearly and he had a great second round. He did lose the first. Batista did actually out-activity him. And I'll give Batista credit for his first round, because his first round was not quite as gremlin-like as the third. Because the second round, he realized, I can't stand with this guy for more than 30 seconds. I'm getting whooped. Aldo was a bit too cautious in the first. I think he should have really tried to put it on Batista in the first. He could have won that round too. But in the third, obviously, Aldo did kind of slow down a bit. There wasn't much hustle. Now, I will more so criticize Batista for fighting like a coward and a rat and a weasel, but I will also kind of give Aldo a bit of criticism in terms of, where's the hustle, bro? Like, come on, this has happened to you before. These inbreds, these boring cunts exist like Merab, who's going to hold on to your legs. Merab normally isn't that boring. Like, Merab normally actively works position. Like, Merab is normally a more entertaining fighter than he was in the Aldo fight. I'll say that. But still, in that fight, Merab was an inbred little boring cunt. And Aldo's got to recognize these guys exist. You're not just going to be able to strike with people. We need some hustle. You got to try and get off the cage. As much as I think the ref should have separated them, Aldo, you got to know if he's not, you got to work and get out of there too. And you should have won the fight, so I'm not going to give you too much criticism, but the performance, it was good, but it wasn't great. It didn't impress me crazy. I didn't go out from that being like, Jose whooped his ass from start to finish and got robbed. Like, it was like Aldo left too much open to the judges for them to just be like, hey, I'll just score the meaningless control time of Mario Batista, who's a rat and a weasel and a coward. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Roman Dolidze, I'll put him in the C tier. I can't bump him up too high. I might move him later on. Like, he looked good, but I just can't rate it that highly. It wasn't like a definitive win. Sure, he took down Holland. I should have picked him. I should have realized Holland can't grapple against anyone with physicality, even though Dolidze doesn't complete takedowns, like, against basically anyone. But yeah, fair play. Good job to Roman Dolidze. The celebration afterwards honestly docked you points. Otherwise, I might have had you in the B tier. Because, what you can't be doing the fucking slicing your throat thingy or whatever when you win via round 1 TKO due to injury. Like, come on, buddy, don't be celebrating that. But Kevin Holland, F tier, he looked shit. I'll give him credit in terms of, or not, I'll give him a pass, not credit. You don't get benefits or points from it. But I will give him credit in terms of the fact that, like, he did get injured, so it is difficult to keep going. But I saw the take of people saying he quit. I don't think many people have popped their fucking rib. That's a lot of pain. And it's not like a pain where it's like, oh, you get leg kicked real bad, or you might have broken a bone in your hand, or you might fracture someone in your arm or some shit like that, and people can kind of fight. Like a rib, it's kind of different. Like, it hurts to fucking breathe when you do your rib. We saw it with Woodley against Covington. People didn't say he quit. People just said, damn, Covington just put it on him and fucking broke him down. So Holland, it was a bad performance still, though. He really had nothing going in the fight. Wasn't like he like dropped Dolidze on the feet and then got taken down. Maybe then I'll jump him up a bit, but with that performance, it looked pretty shit. Just go down to welterweight, buddy. You're not a middleweight. We've established this. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Kayla Harrison, C tier. I know I'm piling up in the C tier here. I might have to change it and add a different one or something. But Kayla, you know, she looked pretty shit. Not shit, but like she looked mid. I'll say that. She didn't look great. She looked okay. Looked decent. Looked below par, I'll say, or at par maybe. Very average. I don't know. A lot of people expected her to dominate. I picked her by finish, but I did kind of have a feeling Vieira is actually tough. She's pretty solid, and in my opinion, she actually beat Pennington when they fought a couple years ago. But regardless, it was a decent performance from Kayla. She dominated moments of the first and moments of the third, but she did look mid a lot of times in between that. Vieira, you know, D tier, C tier, D tier, whatever. Like, yeah, it is what it is. You know, she looked okay at moments, but you did lose still. You lost 30-27. I can't credit you that much. Let's move on, though, to the prelims. Joaquin Buckley is going to be our first A/A plus tier. I give him an A plus. That was a great performance. Now, maybe you say A because he did lose the first round, I guess, and on one judge scorecard, he lost the first two. On one judge, he won the first two, which is interesting. But in terms of the KO, anytime you KO Wonderboy, I don't care what happens before that. I'm giving you an A or an A plus. Like, it was a great performance from Buckley. And also, A plus for the mic work too. You know, you do get points deducted if you have shit call-outs or shit mic work. Like, if he went out there and called out Shavkat or called out Bilal or called out fucking Conor McGregor or called out Chandler or some shit like that, I would have been like, alright, the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? But no, he did have a good call-out. He called out Osman. Kamada Osman, fucking Malteser head. We got Tyler, the Creator, versus the Malteser. Fight coming to you soon. Hopefully, but I think I heard Usman's apparently got a fight booked. But yeah, great performance from Buckley. You KO'd Wonderboy, fair fucking play. Look, goofy goober, big meaty hooks wins, I guess, in MMA. That's what we've established. Buckley's going to be champ, bro. If Drickus can become champ, Buckley can become champ. I believe. I have faith. It's the prophecy. It will happen. Stephen Thompson, I feel bad. Stephen Thompson, I'll go C tier just because he was looking decent. Now, maybe I should say, like, maybe you might be like, oh, bro, you've got Batista in the lower tier than him, and he won. I don't care. Wonderboy was looking good and actually fighting, and at least he went out on his shield. Fucking Batista probably would have got finished if he wasn't shooting for the legs for dear life. So, fuck Batista. Just more opportunities to slander him. And Wonderboy, I feel bad. Like, he was looking good. It wasn't like he got whooped from start to finish, so I'll give him a B, I guess. He looked okay. He was, like, what? That's the thing with Wonderboy. He never looks just totally washed, but it's just minor adjustments or minor things where it's like, yeah, his reaction time's just not all there, or yeah, you know, his range management's not as good as it was, where he, like, when he fought Luque and he was just kicking him away every time he tried to move him in and just literally tipped him off his feet. Like, that was the Wonderboy that I think, like, your original, like, oh, he's looking great, and then there's just little things that are missing that prevents him from being able to put on those performances. Anyway, let's move on, though, to the next fight. Okay, next up, I'm just going to do some adjustments. I'm going to move Khalil into, so I'm going to move Dolidze and Dolidze into the B tier, and I'm going to move Pereira up, just because I rate his performance a little bit higher. And then let's move on though, because I'm just trying to create some space because I was just piling everyone up in the middle tier. Next up, we got Rodriguez and Lucindo. Lucindo, I'll chuck them both, I guess, in the C tier. I don't think they looked good, either of them. I'll change the tiers too. I reckon I'm going to make B and then B plus, because I rate these performances a bit higher, and then I'll go C/D instead. So I'm going to say maybe a C for Lucindo and a D for Rodriguez, just because Lucindo technically won, but I think they both looked pretty awful, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Hernandez. I'll put him in the B+. I actually rated his performance. Hubbard, I'll go C. Look, it was close. It could have gone to Hubbard. One judge gave it 30-27 Hubbard, so I don't want to rank them too far apart. I'll say B for, B+ for... No, why have I got a B? What the... Okay, ignore that. I've got B+ about below B. I'm retarded. Clearly I'm getting a fucking F in school by the sounds of it, because I'm doing fucking YouTube instead of studying for year 12 exams, but that just proves how retarded I am. But make that C plus instead. Change that in your minds to C plus. I realize that now. But Hernandez, I'll say B, and then I'll give Hubbard a C, or C plus for Hernandez, C for Hubbard. Either way, they both look decent. They actually pushed the pace. I thought Hernandez was going to gas out, but they look decent, so I'll give them credit. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, Cesar Almeida and Pereira. Bro, you're both going in the F tier. That shit was fucking shocking. I don't care that Almeida won 30-27. You were like a minus 400 favourite. You should have KO'd him, and you cheated like 8 times. Disgraceful. The referee gets a fucking F as well. The referee gets a fucking, like, 0. Doesn't even get his grade marked. Gets fired from the fucking job. But yeah, both of these guys, disgraceful performance. I actually feel bad. I'm less critical of him. But still, Almeida, fuck, what are you doing, you bum? Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Ryan Spann and OSP, opposite ends of the spectrum here. I'll go an A+ or A for Ryan Spann and an F for OSP. Now, I did expect OSP to get smoked and ran through and lose. And if you didn't, then I don't know what you were thinking. Maybe beating Kennedy as Ntriku convinced you this guy was good. Or maybe you just thought Ryan Spann was that bad. But Ryan Spann is a physical. He is decent. So I'll give him credit for that. He's not terrible. But yeah, A+ for him. Gets the guillotine, quick finish. If you finish someone in a minute and a half, I don't care how big of a favourite you are, I'll chuck you up there. He got a bonus. That indicates he was one of the better performances of the card. And then OSP, yeah, you looked old, you looked like a bum, which you are. I don't know why anyone thought differently, but I guess Kennedy as Ntriku is just that shit. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Pennington and a Sparza. Pennington, I'll give the imaginary B+, which is meant to be a C+, and then a Sparza, I'll give a C, just because I do think Pennington... Look, I mean, they're basically the same, but I just don't want to have them on the same tier. I don't know, they both looked shit. They both looked mid as fuck. A Sparza looked good on top at moments, like she had some good ground and pound, good control, and then on the feet, Pennington was just being more aggressive. But it was a pretty low-level fight, pretty mid stuff. So yeah, both of them not the best. Let's move on, though, to the next fight, or the final fight of the card. Fort McGee, certified Unk. Congratulations, my friend. You get an A+. You submitted Tim Means, who's getting an F, because he's a bum, and I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But yeah, he's going to go in the F. You're going to go in the A+, because he subbed him. I think it was the soyest tap I've ever seen from Tim Means. Caught McGee, but Caught McGee, went out there, looked good, you know, big, strong guy, big 40-year-old dad strength, you know. Picked him up, dumped him down, got the back, got the control, got the choke, won the fight. Didn't get a bonus, which was tough for him. It was Spann and Buckley, which were fair, but I wouldn't have minded. I said they should have done Fight of the Night, Pereira, Rountree, and then Pereira, Spann, Wonderboy, and McGee should have got bonuses as well, because I think Pereira still should have gotten a bonus for the KO. But regardless, Tim Means looked solid. Oh, no, Tim Means looked shit. McGee looked solid, sorry. But yeah, that will do it. Quick video today. I do this after every pay-per-view, even if there's not as much to talk about, not as many notable fighters, I still get it done, and also I have no video ideas, so if you guys have any video ideas, give me some. I need content. But I'm going to probably be a little bit less heavy on the videos coming up, because I got year 12 exams. I actually have to fucking focus, otherwise my future's cooked. So I'm going to lock in soon, hopefully. But yeah, I'm still probably going to end up making videos every fucking day or something, because I'm retarded. But yeah, drop some more videos you guys want to see. Like, subscribe, follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.